Since 1977, Ford has sold more than 26 million F-Series trucks, with the Ford F-150 being the star of the whole show. In fact, the F-150 has been America's best-selling vehicle for 41 years running, and that's not just the best-selling truck, it's the best-selling vehicle in America. So how did Ford get to this point? The F-150's direct competitors, the Chevy Silverado 1500 and the Ram 1500, are both pretty incredible and good capable trucks. And when you look at the broader market, there are sedans and SUVs that have robust offerings too. So with all of this competition out there, there has to be a reason or a couple of reasons why the F-150 has been so much more successful than every other vehicle in America. My name is Kobe Hunter, and in this video, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why the Ford F-150 is the best-selling vehicle of all time. If you want to learn more about the business world, make sure to click that subscribe button because I think you'll really like my videos. I talk about cars, finance, all that fun stuff. All right, let's get into it. Ford first introduced the F-Series of trucks in 1948. Back then, the truck was known as the F1, with other models up to the F8. These trucks were revolutionary because they were the first ones designed for private use and built on a dedicated truck platform. This allowed them to better work in work environments. In 1953, the second generation of F-Series trucks were introduced with the F100. This truck served as the precursor to the F-150. The F-150 as we know it today was introduced in 1975 and quickly became the best-selling vehicle in America. The F-150's name comes from how much weight it could carry in the bed. The F-100 could carry 1,000 pounds, the F-200 could carry 2,000 pounds, and the F-150 could carry, you guessed it, 1,500 pounds. Nowadays, the naming is more traditional than anything else. At this point, the F-150 has a much higher payload capacity than the original 1,500 pounds. This last year, Ford sold 750,000 F-Series trucks. The next closest competitor, the Chevy Silverado, sold 200,000 less at 550,000 trucks, and Ram was behind Chevy and sold 450,000 trucks. Now, if you'll notice something here, these 3 vehicles are some of the best-selling vehicles in America, and they all have something in common, which leads us to our first reason. Number 1, historically, pickup trucks have sold really, really well in America. Very little is more American than a pickup truck. As America came out of the oil crisis in the early 1970s, gas prices were falling so people could afford bigger vehicles. In fact, Ford estimated that in 1970, only 39% of all of their pickup sales were for personal use, but just 6 years later, by 1976, that figure had swelled to nearly 60%. Americans began to view pickup trucks as the catch-all solution for their automotive needs, which continues today. In 2022, pickup trucks accounted for 20.5% of all new vehicle sales in the US. Of the 2.1 million pickup trucks sold in the US, Ford, Ram, and Chevrolet accounted for roughly 80% of those sales. And of the total 2.1 million sales, Ford accounted for 34% of it. Compare this to all other classes of vehicles such as sedans and SUVs. No model holds a market share of its vehicle class like Ford does. To put this into context, SUVs account for 46% of the US market share, with roughly 8 million of them being sold in 2023. The Toyota RAV4 is the best-selling SUV of 2023 and sold 434,000 vehicles. That represents only a 5% market share of its class compared to Ford's 34% market share of its class. So to bring this point home, pickup trucks are very popular in America, and because Americans inherently have fewer pickup truck brands to choose from, Ford gains a more significant market share compared to vehicles in other segments. Now, part of the lack of competition from foreign manufacturers in the truck segment is because of the chicken tax's 25% tariff, which makes it nearly impossible for foreign manufacturers to import trucks. Now, the irony here is that while there may be fewer companies to buy pickup trucks from, the options that Ford gives its customers allows for more choice than any other type of vehicle on the road. Number 2, Ford makes a truck for everyone. Throughout the history of the Ford F-150, Ford has offered many different trim and engine options for a variety of buyers. Gone are the days of the Model T when Henry Ford said that a customer can have a car painted any color he wants as long as it's black. An F-150 buyer can have their Ford F-150 in nearly any color they'd like, with whatever engine they'd like, they can tow as much or as little as they'd like, and honestly, the list goes on and on. Just a quick look at Ford's website shows us that there are 8 different trim levels to choose from, 3 different bed sizes, and 3 different cab configurations. Ford also has 6 different engine options, ranging from turbocharged V6s to naturally aspirated V8s, hybrid options, the electric Lightning, and the supercharged V8 in the Raptor R. This means that there are over 400 different variations before you even get down to the little packages or colors. All of this variety and choices means a massive range in prices of Ford F-150s. This range of price means that almost anyone can get an F-150 at the price range they're shopping at. The lowest trim XL starts at $33,000, and an optioned-out Raptor R goes for over $100,000. Now let's compare this to SUVs for a minute. A Ford F-150 can sell in the price range of a Honda CR-V at the $30,000 to $40,000 price range, as well as a BMW X5, which goes between $60,000 and $100,000. Now, neither of these cars are going to be cross-shopped with each other, but an F-150 can be cross-shopped with both of them. It can be the relatively inexpensive family hauler like the CR-V, or the more upscale luxury vehicle like the X5. It all just depends on which options you tick. This is a remarkable advantage because essentially, Ford can sell to 4 different classes of buyers on one platform. This platform's ubiquity can also be reflected in the Ford F-150's capabilities. Number 3, the Ford F-150 is a capable truck with a lot of different personalities. We just established that Ford has an F-150 for everyone, which also means that the F-150 has to have a wide range of capabilities. So you want to haul a trailer with all your favorite toys behind you and fit your family too? Well, the F-150 can do that with ease. Towing is not the only thing that an F-150 can do. If you want to go to your favorite home improvement store, you can carry tons of stuff or furniture like that in the bed. The F-150 is also extremely capable off-road with packages such as the Tremor package and the Raptor. If you want to use your truck as a daily driver and just go to the mall per se, the F-150 also has you covered there. The F-150 can also be an extremely luxurious truck that offers excellent interior amenities on par with high-end Mercedes-Benz vehicles, plus it drives a lot more like a car than you'd think. Now, once again, this shows an incredible advantage for Ford here. In essence, Ford sells a minivan family hauler, a workhorse for rural America, a luxury vehicle for suburban dwellers, and a sport truck for automotive enthusiasts all on one platform. In addition to the many price points of buyers that Ford can sell to, they can also appeal to many different types of consumers in a way that traditional vehicles like sedans or SUVs really can't do. Number 4, because the F-150 has been a cash cow, Ford invests a lot of money into innovating it. Since the inception of the F-Series truck, Ford has always been about innovating and pushing the boundaries of what a pickup truck can do. In the more modern era, Ford has continued to push the boundaries of innovation, with one of them being the introduction of the 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6 back in 2011. This engine was revolutionary because it offered the same performance as the traditional V8, but was also able to improve on fuel economy and thus save buyers money. Another innovation was in 2018 when Ford introduced an all-aluminum body for their pickup truck. This was met with a fair share of controversy from the traditionalist crowd that believed all pickup trucks need to be steel-bodied, but the performance bump from the aluminum was undeniable. Compared to steel, aluminum is much lighter and retains the same strength, which means that the F-150 was lighter and stronger than its predecessor, which improves fuel economy and payload capacities. Ford continues to innovate today with the introduction of hybrid EcoBoost powertrains, adding a Ford Copilot 360, which is kind of like Tesla's autopilot, as well as other driver assistance aids, such as the Pro Trailer Backup Assist, which helps you back up your trailer by doing pretty much all the work for you. Finally, Ford has innovated with the introduction of the fully electric F-150 Lightning. Despite Chevrolet and Ram having introduced concepts of their EV trucks, the Lightning has been the first to market. In fact, it's been on sale for almost 2 years, and only now is Chevy delivering their electric pickup truck. The F-150 Lightning got announced after the Cybertruck and still beat the Cybertruck to market, which, to be fair, I guess isn't really a flex because Tesla is always late, but that's beside the point. Ford is able to perform so well in this new field because they know that the F-150 Lightning is imperative to their long-term strategy, so they put lots of money and their best talent into it. If the F-150 team needs something, management is gonna give them the green light. And management knows that even if a technology is kind of expensive to create, by creating it for the F-150, they will get a good ROI because they will get a ton of sales with it. Number 5, Ford has been masterful at branding the F-150. In comparison to other trucks, Ford has a much stronger brand for their F-150. Whether it's the Built Tough phrase or the Raptor naming, they have dominated branding by being first in the market. The F-150 nameplate came about in 1975, which was years before its competitors' brands came out. Ram debuted their line of trucks as we know them in 1981, and while Chevrolet has been selling trucks for a long time, the Silverado name was only debuted in 1999. Ford has a nearly 25-year head start to build the F-150 brand compared to Chevy. This is where Ford built its truck brand in many subgenres to again market to everybody. Ford did this through special editions such as the Ford Lightning, which was a cool on-road sport truck, Harley-Davidson editions that appealed to fans of that brand, and NASCAR editions as well. Another example of this branding prowess was the introduction of the F-150 Raptor back in 2011. The Raptor is a high-powered Baja-inspired truck designed to go really fast off-road and is famous for its jumping capabilities. Ford even entered a very lightly modified version of the Raptor into the Baja 1000, which covers 1,200 miles of desert terrain, and the Raptor completed the event, and recently in 2022, Ford won the stock event with the Raptor, which further built the F-150 and Ford Raptor brands. It took Ram 9 years to build a Raptor competitor known as the TRX, and it's a pretty good vehicle. Chevy now has a ZR2 package for the Silverado, but the branding problem here is that no one says they drive a ZR2 like people say they drive a Raptor. In comparison to other types of vehicles, Ford has done an excellent job of making its truck known as a vehicle that does it all. Americans can have whatever vehicle they want, either a sports one, a work truck, or a luxury vehicle, all without having to leave the F-150 ecosystem. It's a little bit like the iPhone. If you're an iPhone user, when it's time to get a new phone, you ask which new iPhone I'm going to get, not which new phone I'm going to get. Same thing with the F-150. Customers oftentimes ask which new F-150 they're going to get, not which truck is next. So why is the Ford F-150 the most popular vehicle in the United States? Well, it's a combination of America's love for trucks, there being an F-150 for everyone, it being an incredibly capable truck that outperforms its rivals, and having an ingenious product and branding strategy. But as history has always shown, dynasties don't last forever. So as we move into the future and trucks get electrified, will Ford still retain its sales dominance over the American market? Or will Ram, Chevrolet, or Tesla be able to build a truck that is just so enticing that Ford F-150 buyers have no choice but to make the switch? Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.